Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. Right, so Banquet rewards and event details are here. It's called Banquet and Accolades Event 2023, and this is going to ruffle some feathers. This is definitely not going to go down as the most smooth or successful or the amazing event has Kabam put up, because there are a lot of changes from the last year, and for most part, they're not good, because this time around, we kind of get the worst of both worlds. Typically, what we have gotten used to is the fact that Banquet event breaks the game economy. It was rough, but we kind of accepted the fact that during the Banquet event, Mega Whales just run ahead of everybody. They pay 100k to get, extra champions at the highest progression possible. And then eventually, we start getting the same things for significantly cheaper, but there is this massive leap forwards. But at the same time, the best part about the Banquet event for majority of the community was that you could get relatively a lot for little, because Kabam made sure that even though you could not compete for the top spend rewards, you got fairly good return on your investment from the solo events, from the milestone events, from the login calendars, from the free greater gifting crystals. And last year it was effectively about as rewarding of an event as we had ever seen, where you effectively had to use like 3k units or 5k units, and you could get all the milestones and a ton of good rewards in them, and basically get a ton of cool stuff, and everybody's account progression just kind of jumped and skyrocketed. Well, then this year, not so much. So we get worst of the both worlds, where low spending and free-to-play players get very little in comparison, and the top whales will still get a lot, insanely much. So let's break it down, because realistically, this event is by far the worst for all experienced, let's say, Paragon, top-end Paragon, and new lower spend Valiant players. Though that is the group that this event is by far the worst for. Because it's not progression based. And first thing that's changed is that you get different amounts of points now for when you open a Greater Banquet Crystal and when you buy a Greater Banquet Crystal. And there is a significant difference. So effectively, if you get a free Greater Banquet Crystal, you only get 700 points for it. If you purchase a Greater Banquet Crystal and then open it, you get 2,800 points for it, which is a massive, massive difference, which, as you can probably imagine, will lead to a significantly increased amount of unit cost to get all the milestones. By current approximation, it will be around 10,000 units. One Greater Banquet Crystal is 300 units. Somebody below in the comment sections already did the math, and effectively, in order to be able to get all the solo and alliance event milestones, if everybody put in their work, you will need about 10k units plus all of the free crystals that you can amass throughout the 2 weeks of the Banquet event. So again, the price for getting all the milestones has significantly jumped up, and a lot of people will inevitably have an issue with it. The biggest problem with it, though, is that the milestone quality resembles something you want 2 years ago for most part. But let's break it down. I'm not going to go into the contents of the Banquet Crystal. Obviously, the small, tiny Banquet Crystal is for very, very new progression players. The best thing in there is basically a 5-star Awakening gem. So I assume that most of you are not really interested in it. Greater Banquet Crystal already got leaked previously, so I covered it fully. But it has a lot of risk in it. It has a ton of things you would absolutely not want to spend 300 units for. For instance, Tier 2 Alpha. For instance, we have Tier 2 Alpha, Tier 5 Basics, 2 and 3 of them, 6-star Awakening Gems, 6-star Awakening Gem Crystals. We have 6-star Shards, obviously, Paragon Crystals. So there are a lot of duds, inevitably. There are good things too, Tier 3 Alpha Frags, Tier 6 Basic Frags, even though, these are significantly more available now. Full Tier 3 Alphas and Tier 6 Basics, Tier 6 Class Catalyst, full and portions of fragments. And most importantly, it does actually contain 7-star Crystal, the 7-star Kang and Thanos, and that special 7-star Crystal, as well as Tier 4 Alpha Catalyst. That means that whoever be thy filthy Megalodon Kraken whale, we'll probably end up with a full profile of rank 3 champions before the event is over. Last year it was Magus and a handful of others. This year we probably will see some people with 5, 6 rank 3s, possibly. We'll see. But there are some more rank 3s obviously in the rank rewards as well. So that is the Greater Banquet Crystal. Again, very risky affair with some good payoffs, with some mediocre payoffs. The coolest thing about the Greater Banquet Crystals obviously is the fact that it's not progression based. So a Thronebreaker player can get some exceptional rewards, comparatively speaking. At the same time, let's take a look at the Banquet solo event and the milestones in there. And this is shit. This, in fact, is the biggest issue with the event that I can tell. Aside, right next to the doubled cost of actual, clear here, because you need 117k points. Again, it was roughly estimated to be around 10k units plus all the free Greater Banquet crystals that you can get. So you get 600 units early on in milestones. I like the idea there. Let's give Kabam credit for that, because the first 2 milestones give you units that lets you get more Greater Banquet crystals, that lets you get more points, that lets you get more milestones. It kind of makes sense. And it is done to help people get the Deathless Guillotine piece, which again I can respect. That's cool. That's fine. No issue there. My issue, however, is with Nexus 5-star Hero Crystal, 6-star Hero Crystal Shards, then Tier 2 Alpha Catalyst, Tier 5 Basic Catalyst, 6-star Awakening Gems, 5-star Relics, Tier 5 Plus Catalyst, and then realistically speaking, there is 3 good things in there. 3 things that a top tier Paragon player at end of 2023 would care. Obviously, again, I can't speak for everybody in the community. There are Camp players who will enjoy the heck of these rewards. There are Thronebreaker players who will enjoy the heck of these. In fact, if I had to say that this is tuned for Thronebreakers, not top-end Paragons or Valiants. And again, I don't want to be country club elitist. I'm sure that there will be plenty of newer and mid-tier progression players who are going to look at this and say, this looks awesome. Keep in mind, it's not free. It will take 10k units for you to get to begin with. Obviously, you're going to get other stuff meanwhile. But from the more experienced and competitive player perspective, the only thing that's really cool in there is the 7-star Gifted Guardians Crystal. I mean, that is cool. Sure, you can get the Adam Warlock or whatever one of the new champions is. We're going to take a look at it in a bit. But aside from that, Tier 6 class Catalyst Selector, of course, that's cool. But we just had Cyber Weekend where you could get 10 Tier 6 class Catalysts, for relatively cheap, if not more. You could get a lot of those Tier 6 class Catalysts. They were throwing them out like candy, and there's one selector. Then 6-star Relic, again, it's nice, but let's face it, most of us aren't really, chasing the Relic stuff. And 6-star Max 6, whatever. 6-star Awakening Gem. There's 2 6-star Awakening Gems. How many of these fucking things do we need? Many people have 20 of these in the stash already, and I can promise to you that me, everybody in my team, and everybody 3 tiers below my team has 15 Awakening Gems that they will never be able to use, ever. Because, it's impossible at this point. Every single 6-star champion on my account is awakened, and I still have 20 of them, and you can't sell them, you can't trade them in, and it's just a fucking waste of space. Whatever. And then there's a single Tier 3 Alpha and Tier 6 Basic Catalyst, which again, I literally got both of these in the last 3 days from my free Valiant crystals. Again, it might sound a little bit country club elitist, because obviously not everybody is Valiant, but Tier 6 Basic and Tier 3 Alpha ain't shit anymore. So of course we need as many as we can get and stuff like that, but they're far from the chase items they were half a year ago. And then, to rub the salt into the wounds, to accentuate the fact that it's worst of the both worlds, so the low spenders, the medium spenders, the casual kind of holiday spenders, the free-to-play players, have that piece of garbage milestone setup to deal with. And then take a look at the top spend rewards. 7-star Thanos, 7-star Kang, Mythic titles, 7-star Rank Up Gem, 2 to 3, 2 of them. 7-star Rank Up Gem, 1 to 2, 3 of them. 7-star Titan Crystal, 2 of them. 7-star Hero Class Crystal Selector, 3 of them. 7-star Titan Crystal Selector, 1. 7-star Gifted Guardians Crystal, 1. 7-star Hero Launch Pool Selector, 1. Tier 6 Last Catalyst Selector, 12. 12 fucking Tier 6 Last Catalyst Selectors. 6-star Rare Champion Selector, 2. 6-star Relics, 3. And so on and so forth. So, you know, and here's the deal. I'm not even like super mad about it. Whoever spends that much cash at it, yeah, fair play. They're already playing in different stratosphere. The problem is that, you know, unless you spend a bazillion in this event, it's just significantly more shit than last year. And then obviously, the rewards are still great up until top 90. Because top 90 still get 7-star rank 2 to 3 gem crystal. So if you manage to squeak in at spot 89, right, you get 2 to 3 gem. Problem here, however, is spot 91 doesn't get 2 3 gem. They don't even get any tier 4 alphas. They get nothing. They get 1 to 2 gem, and that is it. Imagine the pain of spending thousands of dollars on this event and coming into the 91st place. Because there's nothing really, you know, not much that you're after there, is there? Imagine spending thousands and Kebab's giving you 6-star awakening gems. 4. Kebab's giving you 4 6-star awakening gems and a 3 to 4 6-star gem for spending thousands on this game. I mean, whoever made this setup is delusional. You can't give away a full 2 to 3 rank up in spot 89 and spot 91 gets fuck all. I mean, what is that? I mean, like, I promote, you know, and needless to say, realistic rank rewards that people could earn, let's say getting in 2,000 something, again, there's just nothing a top tier player would really want. You know, there's 145 gem, that's about it. Top 1%, there's like 145 gem. You know, 2 6-star awakening gems. You know, I'm probably gonna, you know, I'm not planning on spending pretty much anything on this. I have 10k units, like maybe around Christmas I'll get an Odin or something, but you know, this is probably where I'm gonna end up with. And you know, it's just meaningless rank rewards. Even though I'm gonna spend 10k units because I do wanted 7-star and whatnot, it is just, you know, whatever. It really doesn't. It doesn't move you in the right direction at all. Let's say working towards your next rank 3 7-star or something. So then we have Alliance event. We're not done yet, boys. Then we have Alliance event. And to be fair, Alliance event is also shit. To be fair, Alliance event has 2 things we want. It has the 7-star Gifted Guardian Crystal and Tier 2 Primordial Dust. So those are 2 things that we want. But to be extra funny, they're legitimately giving 3 and 4-star relics in the Alliance event. Tier 1 Primordial Dust, because we are so desperate to send off. Okay, again, this is Country Club Elite. It's not everybody's in Big Alliance. Okay, fair enough. I get it. But getting to 310 and 380,000 points as an Alliance, you know, it's probably not going to be super easy. And then they are giving us a quarter of Tier 6 Basic and 25% of Tier 6 Basic and Tier 3 Alpha. Again, legit. Like, who did this? It's just awful. You need to get to like the top end milestones to get quarter of a Tier 6 Basic. This is like a year and a half ago type of reward. Like, who did this? Who's responsible? Quarter of a Tier 3 Alpha for an Alliance that reaches 300,000 points. You couldn't even put a full Tier 6 Basic and Tier 3 Alpha in there. Oh my god, this is so shit. And then, needless to say, Alliance rank rewards are also kind of shit. You know, there's nothing significantly meaningful. You know, they're not awful. There's still the 1 to 2 gem for the top Alliance, but it's nothing top Alliances would chase. They clearly put in the best rewards in the top 90 rewards, which is the rank 2 to 3 gem. Alright, so let's finish this shit show off. So Gifted Guardian's Crystal contains Moondragon, Sandman, Diablo, Adam Warlock, Shocker, and Professor X, which is kind of cool. It's a legitimate crystal. I think every single champion in there, is solid. Many of them do really want to be awakened, but still, they're decent, good champions. I like that. There is no miss in that crystal. So if you are going to be taking the 10k unit spend getting all the milestones with your alliance together, you get 2 of these crystals, and maybe you get lucky with the Greater Banquet crystals as well. 7-star Titan Pool Selector, so we can read here, but not like it affects us. It's just for the Megalodons. And then we have Holiday Login Calendar, which again is not progression based, but it does have 7 Greater Banquet crystals. So we're gonna see the total 3 Greater Banquet crystals at the bottom. Aside from the Greater Banquet crystals, it has nothing. Again, because it's not progression based, so they can't put, anything meaningful in it aside from Banquet crystal. And we have Accolades event, which you're gonna give these tokens to your teammates, and as you do so, you are going to be earning your Greater Banquet crystals as well. There are 10 Greater Banquet crystals here. So that's it. So the generic math works out more or less around 10k units. So he said he missed it. It's basically 10k. So you get 19 free Greater Banquet crystals, which is 13,300 points. And then, obviously, you need to open all of these rests. So you basically need 10,800 units for all milestones. He said, miss the calendar Greater Banquet crystals. So, subtract. So, you can subtract a small one. But it's going to be close to 10k, I believe, by the looks of it. So it's going to be significantly more expensive than it used to be to get all the milestones. And the rewards are significantly shit, at the very least, comparatively speaking, to where the game is right now. So, before the Banquet event started, I had heard a little birdie talk about how if you did not spend your units on Cyber event, and if you're not spending your units on Exploring Necropolis, you will be disappointed. And yeah, the event is, again, shit. It's worst of the both worlds. The whales will still get insane amount of stuff because they will get, 2 to 3 gems. They will probably form another 1, 2, 3, rank 3 7-stars. And by end of this event, I legitimately think we're probably going to have people with 7, 8 rank 3 7-stars. And anybody who doesn't make it to top 90 will gain no new 7-stars. And yeah. On the flip side, though, for most part, I still prefer this than Kabam doing July 4th crap. I'll be honest, I much rather have underwhelming crap events that don't move my account forward for spending than July 4th. I think that is how devastating July 4th was for a game. And all things put aside, yeah, you can crap on the event. Yeah, it is significantly more shit than anybody expected, than I expected. Yeah, there will be a number of whales who will run ahead of everybody, as they always do. But I genuinely still prefer this over Kabam creating overly huge pressure to spend to a point where people spend money that they don't have, which I also have done in the past. So, let's be fair here. The event is a disappointment, as far as I can see, for most of the top tier players. But, yeah, I'm kind of fine with it. I'd rather have this than July 4th again. So that's my final thoughts. And, this event kind of makes no sense. It really doesn't. In between the Alliance milestones, the solo milestones being whatever they are, it's just very, very weird that Kabam did this. And let me know what you guys think. I'm going to catch you guys soon. Bye-bye. Hello there, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information